Let's go ahead, children. In this part, let us find something more about Anant and Smita. This part also tells us what Anant was suffering from and what efforts were being made by the family in order to save Anant's life. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. The boy repeated his wish of listening to Pandit Ravi Shankar and seeing him in person. It's the chance of a lifetime, and he called it a chance of lifetime to listen to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. So these two short sentences which were said by the boy, um, it was so difficult for him to speak that he began coughing. He started coughing. Along with it, he also gasped for breath. Gasp means difficulty in breathing. He found it difficult to breathe normally, and therefore he had to be given oxygen from the oxygen cylinder. So through this we can understand that the condition of the boy was not at all good. He was suffering from a grave illness. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Although he was gasping for breath, although he was coughing very badly, but his eyes were fixed on his sister. He was continuously staring at his sister. Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. Self-reproach means in self-pity. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. Now, Smita had become very excited seeing the announcement in the newspaper, and she had spoken very loudly. But she forgot that her brother was very ill. He was critically ill. She had seen how doctors had shaken their heads gravely. Gravely means very seriously they had shaken their heads. It means that they had told the family that the condition of Anand was not at all good, and spoken words that neither she nor even her parents could understand. Now, doctors usually explain you in medical terms. The same thing had happened here, and therefore, Smita says that the words which were used by the doctors to explain them that what Anant was suffering from, they could not understand, nor she could understand, nor her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth. But somewhere inside, Smita was knowing a truth which was very frightening, which was very scary, that Anant was going to die. One thing for sure they all knew, that was Anant was not going to live for a longer time. The word cancer had hung in the air. So Anant was suffering from cancer. And here it is said that this word cancer had hung in the air. Now, when we say that something is hung in the air, we usually don't want to discuss that particular thing. So, even Smita nor her parents, they wanted to discuss about cancer before Anand. So, but still, they were aware what Anand was suffering from. We have two questions here. What was the chance of a lifetime for Anand? So, the chance of a lifetime for Anand was to listen to Pandit Ravi Shankar perform and to see him in person. Second question, why did Smita become nervous? Smita became nervous because in her excitement, uh, she had she had forgotten that her brother was very ill, and she had loudly made the announcement regarding the performance by Pandit Ravi Shankar at the Shanmukhanand auditorium. She was nervous because she knew the frightening truth that Anant was going to die due to cancer. So I hope both the questions are clear to you, children. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of four, to their home in Gaganpur. So everybody knew that Anant was suffering from cancer. But Smita used to pretend. She used to always act in that manner as if Anant would be well, would be cured of cancer, and they would all four return back to their house in Gaganpur. And he was only 15, Anant was only 15 years old, and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. So he was a very good athlete. Along with it, he was the best table tennis player in the school. He was learning to play the sitar. Now, Anant was not only good at sports, but he was good in music also. So he was learning how to play sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons. So it was not only Anand, but even Smita was learning sitar. But Anand was better than her, as in many other things. But Anand was better than Smita in playing sitar. And in other things also, Anand was much better than Smita. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Their guru, from whom they were learning sitar, he was astonished. Astonished means he used to wonder. He was very surprised that how Anand, at such a young age, used to compose his own tunes. And later on, what happened? Then cancer had struck. Finally, Anant was diagnosed with cancer. And they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. In Gaganpur, they did not have good facilities for the treatment of cancer, and therefore they had come to Bombay in order to provide the best treatment um, to Anand so that he can be cured of cancer. We have a question here, but the answer to this question we will find in the next paragraph. Whenever they came to Bombay, they stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. So whenever they came for Anand's treatment to Bombay, they used to stay in Aunt Sushila's house. Her house was very small, but there was always room for them. There was always space for them. They had come with high hopes in the miracles of modern science. They had come to Bombay with a lot of hope. They believed in the miracle of modern science, in the miracle of medical science. Medical science had progressed so much that the entire family was hopeful that Anant would be cured of cancer. They told themselves that Anant would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run and even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournaments. They were very hopeful that Anant would respond to the treatment and he would uh, resume his normal activities once again. And he would play the sitar, perhaps be a great sitarist one day. They were also hoping that one day Anant would become a great sitarist. But his condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctors at the cancer hospital said. But Anand did not respond to the treatment as they had expected, and his condition deteriorated day by day. The cancer hospital doctors said to the family members, take him home, give him the thing he likes, indulge him. So they asked the family members to take Anand home, give him whatever he likes, and indulge him. Indulge him means allow to enjoy the pleasure of something. Whatever gives him pleasure, let him do that. That was what the doctors had advised the family members. And they knew then that the boy had not many days to live when doctors told them that give him whatever he likes. Family members had understood that Anant did not have much time in his hands. But they did not voice their fears. They never expressed their fears, their sadness to Anant. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anant with whatever made him happy, whatever gave pleasure to Anand. Whatever made Anand happy, they used to do those things. They fulfilled his every need and gave him whatever he asked for, whatever he wanted, whatever he liked, whatever he needed. The family members gave Anand that thing. And now he was asking to go to the concert, but this time it was very tough because this time his demand was to go to the concert and listen to Pandit Ravi Shankar. He called it the chance of a lifetime, he was saying, and he was calling it a chance of his lifetime. And but still, it was very tough for the family members to permit him. We have a question here. Why was everyone from the family trying to keep Anand happy? So everyone from the family was trying to keep Anand happy because the doctors at the cancer hospital had told the family members to give Anand whatever he likes and allow him to do things which gave him pleasure. The family members were also aware that Anand did not have many days to live. Along with it, the family members wanted to make Anand happy, and therefore they were fulfilling his every need and gave him whatever he asked for. I hope this question is clear to you. The answer is clear to you, children. Now let's go to the next video and let's go ahead and study the lesson further.